Hi, I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington.
And I'm Brad Payne, president of FPIW Action.
A couple disclaimers before we get started today. This is not an endorsement of the candidate, nor is it the candidate's endorsement of FPIW nor FPIW Action. This is simply a public service as a meet and greet. This will be recorded and published on several different platforms. Brad, why don't you start with our first question?
Yeah, so nice to have you on today. My
Thank
question
you.
is simple to start out. I'd just like for you to tell everybody your name and the position you're running for, and then give us a little background about yourself and your family.
Well, my name is Jennifer Hoover, and I'm running for governor of Washington State. Now, a lot of people ask, how did that all begin? I'm the only candidate that I know of that's had years of experience working with the homeless who are drug addicted and in need of psychiatric care. So the more I looked about and saw that there was an increasing problem, the more I took action to bring forth a solution that works. And this actually came out of the mouths of a lot of the people I worked with, communicated with. We had a small team that went on the streets, comforted them, fed them, clothed them, listened. And, we can really grow in knowledge when we listen to people at ground level on the street. So my history is that I was born and raised in Washington State. I was even performing in the Japanese pavilion at Expo 74 as a little girl. So I've been here for a long time, and the same Washington that I grew up in is not the same as it used to be. After marrying and having two sons and seeing the kind of changes that are taking place in our economy and our state today, I really have a heart and a passion to bring about radical change from, like I said, ground level, like no other candidate that I know of that has the experience and backing that I have with solutions that effectively work.
Excellent. And what is motivating you to run for office?
Well, it is the position where I can veto a bill, put bills in office where I can best finagle, you might say, with legislature or come to reasoning. I'm big on unity. I'm big on solutions and communicating. It is the one chair or seat that I can actually bring about change that's needed. We are a voice, and I represent the people that are belittled, the people that are oppressed, the people that are suffering, the people that just need help or care that they're just not receiving in our state today. So that's what I have, a passion and a heart to defend those who are being oppressed. And we see a lot of oppression out there, and unfortunately, very few people are doing something about it. I am a doer and a leader and a fighter. I've brought change to our community where my name, Jennifer Hoover, was not mentioned. And so this is an area where I can actually put my foot in the door and begin to bring about change and a platform of what I believe in, what I stand for. So this position that I'm focused on and greatly even praying about is one that can bring about the ability for me to bring change and solution at a higher level, which I've already brought to our community, dynamic change. And I know that if it works for an echelon, if it works for a small group, you might say, it'll work for the entire state. So we're seeing a lot of solutions that are very, very powerful and effective. And that will give me the opportunity to help more people and serve my communities, all my communities.
All right. Well, that answers one of my next questions, the concern you have, people. Can you tell us what you hope to accomplish if you were elected as governor? What's one specific thing that you'd like to accomplish in office?
And to thousands of people. And there are a lot of people out there, their voices are not heard. It seems like if you're not a politician, if you're not wealthy, oftentimes these voices that are oppressed under high taxes and legislation and lack of housing, the inability to comfort or properly take care of families, or even for police officers, the ability to arrest a criminal and actually do justice, of which they are trained and paid and upheld to do. So that is my passion, to speak up on behalf of the people, serve the people. This is not a position of glory. This is a position of service to your community. And I am better able to serve my community with that mindset that I'm looking out for those who've been oppressed, those who are suffering, especially seniors. And I talk to many that home are struggling just to pay their property tax. There are ways that we can reduce those taxes, ways that they can, and they're not being heard. So part of my ability and my stance is to speak up on behalf of those who cannot speak up for themselves, those who are being oppressed under a very harsh and severe system of which they're not getting ahead. Like seniors should be allowed to enjoy their golden years in a sense of peace. They shouldn't feel the pressure to have to go back to work. And I'm meeting several of them that can't even afford housing or can't even afford to pay their property taxes. But along with that, and looking out for the greater support of our police force and the greater education and protection of students at school, and also those who are homeless that need psychiatric care, they need steps to advancement and provision to get them on track in a structured environment. Okay, these are all areas that I'm looking into giving or the ability to succeed, to prosper under an oppressive system. So that is why I'm focused on that position, to help and serve and make a difference.
Our fourth and final question is, are there any issues of FPIW action and FPIW that you'd like to expand on? You've hit on several, like public safety, you've talked about homelessness, any of the other areas, environmental stewardship, individual freedom, any of those that you'd like to comment on?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I represent independent and also leaning to the right Republican Party. I think we should never stray from our biblical principles. I'm a candidate that does call out hypocrisy. The Bible states that you will know us by our love. So it's just a message that we're going to be a more unified state when we better understand how to properly show love and consideration to others, to treat one another the way we would want to be treated. That's a platform, and it seems a little more intrinsic, but it's true. It's going to advance our state in great dynamics when we show what we stand for with transparency. So that means that we don't judge the other party. We don't judge people because they're different from us. Our job is to love them to the best of our ability and show our fruit, show who we are by the light of love that shines through us. So that is one of my heartfelt stances on accepting one another. It doesn't mean that we have to condone the activity or behaviors, people that we don't agree with, but we are called to love them. And so one of my sound messages that I want to speak across the state is, let us know one another by what we stand for, by the fruit of our works, by our trees that show and grow the fruit of love. So that's one of my main points. Do I have time to get into the area of homelessness and help for the homeless?
Well, we've just about used up all of your time, but if you could do that in like 10 seconds, that'd be fine.
Yes. Well, my plan is rehabilitation, training programs, not just housing for the homeless, but on-site psychiatric care and volunteer help. And I'm the only candidate, Jennifer Hoover, that has a phenomenal plan that works for the homeless to help them advance, get back on their feet, and get back into normalcy and into society to work back again. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for your time. We can appreciate FPIW, your desire for servanthood. That's important to us as an organization. So we appreciate that. And thank you for your time today. Thank you for coming on. And we wish you luck in the next few weeks of campaigning as we come down to this deadline in the next 2 weeks, and wish you well.
Amen. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support.
All
Have
right.
a wonderful
I'm Brad
day.
Payne with FPIW Action.
And I'm Brian Noble with FPIW. No part of this video should be taken as an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW and FPIW action. We want to encourage everyone out there to go love their neighbor, defend and advance biblical values in the public square. God bless.